This call is being recorded.
So please do not hesitate to interrupt if you have any questions whatsoever. That's totally fine. I love to see that you are not only the spirit of the main character, but you're an angel. You got the Gemini rising. That's amazing. And then
Okay.
your moon, you got my favorite moon sign, the strongest moon sign, in my opinion, Aquarius. So that makes you the representation of advanced courage or cosmic righteousness as an angel, which is really beautiful. So you have an angelic physiology. Uranus is going through your 12th house, radically isolating you because Gemini suns and Gemini risings are literally manifesting the angelic properties of our physiology and spirit onto our physical body, which is a long, arduous process. Because as an angel, especially with the glory, the spirit of the glory of God in Leo, you don't need sleep, you don't need to eat. You literally represent this angelic messenger archetype. Of course, we still have a physical body. So this is the ascension symptoms you're going through. By the time Uranus goes through Gemini, you're processing energy like you've eaten NZT, and you're already coming into elements of this because unlike most other Leos and people, you have a cosmic soul. And I'm born 1990, you're born in 89. So we both have MC in Aquarius. In fact, your moon is exactly on my 8th degree North Node, and then we also both have North Node Aquarius. It's just you have this as a Gemini rising. So I'm going to give you a very important article about, and I have chills, celebrities with MC in Aquarius. I always give everyone who I have a reading with who has this article because Saturn has been finishing through our MC, and at being Goat Squad, we have Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus in Capricorn. Our powers returned. You're one of the most powerful beings alive here. And Saturn goes into Pisces, it's going to blossom. And this evolution in your career that's happened, you're going to finally step into. You've worked so hard for this. So this is you really coming in to finally achieve this independent level of success, which is well deserved. And, as a you know what I mean? As a representative of this collective karma you represent, I look forward to breaking down this chart more because it's very legit. Your chart is so legit. You represent being the captain of our destiny group. So, for example, the weekend is the captain of our destiny group and other Aquarians. Soldier Boy is an example of the co-captain, just like you, because you help provide, as the co-captains do, the light of foundation of creativity so that we can go towards our destiny and create these networks to share this knowledge. And with your moon in Aquarius, you feel more into your legacy and destiny. You know it at a deep soul level. Um, it's really beautiful because this claircognizant understanding and knowledgeable advancement will always align your creative spirit and social attitude to perform and match your passion with your intellect or intellect with your passion. So, like, it's a responsibility towards others to rest assured that what you know is important. Even if other people disagree, you'll honor what they believe, but you still stick with what you know because you know? And it's
Yeah.
beautiful, right? Because with this unlocking now for the first time ever, Saturn is establishing your legacy for good. Aqua MC is the strongest legacy. Everyone who you'll see with this article that has MC in Aquarius is like one of the most like they stay relevant, they don't fall off, they're super talented, and that's just how strong our legacy is because your legacy is to be known. You're meant to be known in this world. You're meant to teach the knowledge that you have as an angelic being.
It's
This
crazy because I've always had this like feeling within me, like, and then I've always thought it was like sort of ego, and I'm like, where the fuck do these thoughts come from?
yes.
And then yet, like, I still feel like this what you're saying.
It's I love you gave me chills once again because the Pluto square to your Leo sun is going to be this advent of jealousy towards you, where people are jealous towards the fixed signs with Pluto Scorpio, but it's a lot towards Leo because it's a very irrational exorcism like vibe, where the negative side of Leo is narcissism, but the positive side is self love. And people who are really impure or have any ulterior motives will just act like, oh, she thinks she's too egoic. She thinks she's too cool. But the thing here is you back up the hype. Like the reason why you'll feel ego is what you feel about yourself and what you're meant for, you back it up, like you match it. And so if you don't, every time you kind of like deny that, it will feel like you're being too egoic versus stepping fully in your purpose, because your own soul puts your spirit in check. What if your Leo wants to get too passionate, the aqua moon connects it back to your connection with everyone. If the aqua moon wants to get too detached, your Leo moon reminds you your passion and what
You're
you
giving
love.
me chills, yeah.
It's amazing. Your chart is really amazing because you are an aspect of destiny. Like you're completely connected here. I feel like even speaking to you is a good luck for me because you have Jupiter near your rising, so you definitely are super lucky. But you really help align people to where they're meant to be, just by you knowing where you're meant to be and aligning that. So it's so awesome because once again, you being born 89, me being born 90, for example, Will Smith has this, Miley Cyrus has this, Kristen Stewart has this, Dr. Dre has this, Ashton Kutcher. These are people who we've known forever. And like Saturn is, of course, the award, and then MC is the reputation and the accomplishment. So Will Smith got his only Oscar while Saturn was on his MC. And one of my most recent milestones is I've been viewed by 10 million people, or I have 10 million views on my channel. So that's a 10th house accolade with Saturn there. You're coming into more knowledge and notoriety for what you've done, and this is breaking you through to establish this knowledge relative to what you've learned during this period. You might be going through higher education, a PhD, master's program, or you'll be able to teach that, even if indirectly, because you have so much wealth of knowledge being an angelic being, that the North Node in Gemini 2020, 2021 unlocked this. So without making this too much of a forecast transit, you are tied in. The coolest thing about you and me, once again, is we have our North Node next to our MC in Aquarius. We're destined to be famous. And there could be this sense of, not imposter syndrome, but not really being interested in fame. I mean, as a Leo, you do know the Leo energy you have knows how to work the spotlight. You enjoy being on stage and expressing your ideas, but like the level of fame, super fame, I don't think it's something that appeals to you in a superficial way. Like it's something you would even want, but you're destined for it. Like that's the challenge for you. It's going to be comfortable for you to be on your stage that you set up in your neighborhood and play to the town. But your destiny is to play to the world, to go on tour, because people need to see your light. People need to see how talented you are. It's going to inspire them to really step to your position too, because North Node Aquarius, we're coming off the Leo throne, and we're sharing that light with other people so that we can as a network grow. But it's cool because in the ninth house, your legacy is tied to your destiny to teach this advanced knowledge and to unlock this higher cosmic nature. So it's so awesome. I mean, ever since I was a kid, like I've always been in the theater arts. I was headlining and being the main character for Ebenezer Scrooge, but it was World Day edition, so it was Ebenezer Litterbug. But like, I didn't realize back in the day, like I was always tied into just acting, being on stage, because this is what the South Node, we're perfect at this. And out of all of us with this, I would say y'all with the Leo Sun, like your background in acting and just being naturally creative, like you don't have to go to acting school. You're the main character already, So like, even though your title is the angel, like there's this vibrancy that you can express through. Now the Pluto square is what's going to speak to this intensity of energy that will challenge through outside influences how you take the courage of your attitude. Third house Leo means you have the courage to speak up about heartfelt things others may not, but the intensity of how extremely people may take your love or take that approach, which will either be extremely positive or extremely negative. And sometimes too much of anything can be a bad thing, even if it's positive. So it's making sure that certain people aren't put off because your love is too extreme for them, and in your perspective maybe they're just too weak for it. And then other people who project too much on you and try and manipulate you because you have something that people will never have, or they either got it or they don't, which is how fixed sign energy has. Like they either got the Leo pizzazz or they don't. They either got the aqua knowledge or they don't. So this T square is super strong for you. It makes this opposition you have not only super strong, but in aligning this destiny where you're meant to be known, you're meant to be celebrated. Pluto extremely integrates this into your lifestyle and how creatively you purely and obsessively live this creative aspect of your attitude out, because third house Leo, like you have here, 23 degrees, really speaks to your social skills. It's also interesting because my moon is 23 degrees, so I form a quincunx with you. It's just a really interesting exactness of degrees. So the way you may hear my messages will be unique, because exactly on that eighth house cusp, it's almost as if like I help kind of trigger certain things, but you also have this very precise Virgo magic that's going to really speak to this analytical ability. Mercury in Virgo is 10 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo is 9 of Pentacles, and then Mars in Virgo is this very analytical, strategic approach. I appreciate it. I have Mars in Aries, so before I can think about what I've done, I've already done it. And it's cool until it's not, because it was reckless. But Mars in Virgo is very analytical. You're going to have that checklist. You're definitely going to analyze the approach to your steps. So it might not be as reckless or quick, but it's on point. And the way that your brain hyper
But
analyzes.
and also, if I think, could it make sense that I like analyze very quickly anyway?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And
Because I
in
do feel
tandem,
like I analyze and people think I don't, and that I do make rash decisions. And I do agree that I make fast decisions, but I do analyze, I feel, quickly.
I'm chills again because you confirm something very important. You will analyze and you have the best of both worlds here, but your moon in Aquarius is why. So
Mm.
Aquarius, the factor with Aquarius is Aquarius processes information so quickly, it looks like they're psychic, but it's not that they're psychic. They just know, they're just genius. So the Virgo aspects that you have can almost promote an overanalyzation. And I respect Leos like you, because every Leo that I've met that has Virgo energy, when I play my music to them or when I put art, they're always giving me constructive criticism. They're not going out of their way to like make fun of my music, but they're not going to be the one that's like, "Oh wow, that was so good, that was awesome." Like they're the first thing I'm going to be like, "That was all right, this needs work, or you could do this to that." It's like very constructive. It's like they're giving you the real insight. But this critical nature can make you be very perfectionist on your own self, to where, and this drives me crazy as a Gemini. Like my Cancer sister has this, Virgos with this. You guys will like record the greatest take ever, but one note was off. So you got to do it again. And you just want to be very mindful of that level of perfectionism and how it can. I feel like it may not be so much of an issue for you as much as like Cancers and Virgos. But now the moon in Aquarius gives you the best of both worlds. It helps you understand the knowledge of what you're already experiencing, so that your Virgo energy will now process everything that you know. So it's like you'll know it and then you'll get the receipts shortly after. It's like you'll look at someone and your aqua moon will already know, wow, like this person is creepy, and then you'll immediately start to see evidence on their body language by the way they kind of talk and move. It's like, oh yeah, see, they really are. So like, and this is even more important because you have Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn in the seventh. So with the late Gemini rising, that gives you a mastery of your personality. Most of Cancer's in your first house, and so you're manifesting the value of your wealth. This is even cooler because based on the whole sign system, even though Jupiter falls in your first and is going to represent the very abundant nature of your personality in its exaltation, you still do technically have a Jupiter in the second house aspect. So that means you get money. You're able to manifest relative to how well you can make others feel comfortable and how well you feel about yourself. The more abundant you feel about yourself, the more money you attract to yourself. It's very nonlinear, but it's also super empathic because it also has you manifest this extreme level of healing relative to how abundant and contagious your personality is, because you can feel emotions so powerfully and charged. But opposite the Capricorn, this is going to give you this sense of body language telepathy where you'll discern people's body language and psychoanalyze it instantly. And every reading I've done with Leo always alludes into this exorcist quality where you guys can see into people's eyes and see how evil they are and see how negative energies might be affecting them versus if it's purely them. And so being able to see people's spirits on top of analyzing their body gives you so much of a comprehensive ability to guide and help others like a coach or like a therapist. But this is very powerful because you're breaking through the next level of how you establish greater career success, but also how you facilitate what you pick up on other people, because you have to trust what you see, even if it doesn't make the most sense. Neptune and Uranus so close to the DC means that you will feel people's body language real time. Like people's bodies will snitch to you and tell you things that with the Virgo analysis, I have the Taurus trine to this. So my physical body will just be like an antenna and I'll just sense things about people that are about them that are true. For example, I was walking into my apartment and with Neptune and Capricorn, at a very minute level, it discerns intuitive insight about people based off of actions they take. In Capricorn, it's going to let you know the integrity of their character. It's very intuitive. So I was walking into the door of my own apartment, and the person in front of me didn't open the door for me. Like, basically, walked through the door enough so that it would close, and I had to open it. And so at a split second, right, I was like, that's not a trustworthy person. You know, personally, if it was me, I open the door for everyone, but that person
Mhm.
is not someone to be trusted. Even though they didn't do anything necessarily untrustworthy, I could just tell, like the way of the behavior. Your ability to do this is so much more on point than me, because whereas I come at a more basic level, you have the Virgo trine. So you're going to analyze minute details of how what you're picking up is real, and you'll be able to psychoanalyze that instantly, where your body is giving you a sense where this person isn't trustworthy, this person doesn't have integrity, but the Mercury, Mars, and Venus and Virgo is already picking up context clues into how realistically that is. It's like a much more social level and evolved level of what I have with the Taurus trine, you have with the Virgo trine. So without having Taurus, it won't be stable as much, but you have Aqua and Leo, so that accounts for the Taurus. It's stable in a much more passionate and intellectual way, so you could be a lot more detached than physically than sensually attached to things. So it's really, really powerful, especially because Cancer does rule your second house. So what you're healing is the feeling of value. So this is what you and I are both dealing with in different ways, where the first 30 years of our life was overcoming passive aggressive psychological manipulation from people who even mean well and people who don't mean well, where you're healing how valuable you feel in yourself, where people can manipulate you and undermine your value. And so you're constantly feeling like you have to be better for other people, versus your Saturn return where you took all your power back. And now you're realizing, oh my gosh, like this is your treasure. Like feeling your value, feeling abundant in yourself will skyrocket and supercharge the power you represent. And I mean, it's just amazing. Being born in '89, you have 1 degree Uranus, you have Saturn, you have Neptune. So as soon as Saturn goes into Pisces, first of all, I'm not really going to be shy on this. 88, 89, 90, we are some of the most powerful people on the planet. I call us GOAT Squad because the combination of energies we have compared to every other combination of zodiac energies are so magical. They're strong. Every single year and generation has something. It makes me so passionate about astrology. What we have and 2020 babies, we're the most powerful. Jupiter in its exaltation, Saturn in its dignity, Pluto in its dignity, that combination harnesses the highest potency of power and collective karmic responsibility. Obama has Saturn in Capricorn, Ghislaine Maxwell has Saturn in Capricorn, and they were responsible for like the whole world. Like they were tied into the most powerful people. So we have some of the most powerful version of this with Uranus and Neptune, and babies born 2020 are really the only ones with that potency, but it's going to take them 30 years to get on the level that we're at. And so now you're 30. Now you can finally actualize what it means to have this level of power. And Saturn and Pisces is the sextile that's going to blossom this for the first time ever since we were born. And so this is going to be the first time everyone in the world will witness the amount of power that we're going to step into and lead the world with. And you're the main character out of all of us with this energy. All right. If you think about, I love using Soldier Boy as an example because Soldier Boy has come into be seen relative to hip hop as originating everything. Like that's his joke. Like, I'm the first rapper to do this, I'm the first rapper to do that. But he's on the South Node. So of course, like this is the foundation that, people like him and us are paving. And so congratulations, because me being more 90, we're gonna get this later, but 88, 89, you get this first. Like as soon as Saturn starts to sextile, all of your powers are going to be blossoming. And a
And
lot of this, what was that?
when is that going to be?
March. So it's going to start March of 2023. Basically, the rest of this year is going to end it. And for you, it's opposite your sun. So all the Leos have been going through challenges, but it's strengthening your partnerships and your philosophy around raising the standards in your relationships. But a lot of this power is in your seventh, eighth house. So it's your ability to control other people, not by manipulating them, but by holding other people accountable to the integrity that they deal with you with. But I mean, this is very powerful. It's like your own body language and charm and charisma. You're not manipulated with this, but you will be puppet stringing people based on how strong you stand in your own self and how people react to you.
I feel like I've kind of always done that anyway.
Yes, you have. You have. That's the Saturn in the seventh. But your ability to do this is going to be more effortless than ever and align so much more with what you're doing. So yeah, this is awesome. I really feel like I've known you before. We definitely have the South Node connection. So it's
I
awesome.
felt that also just watching your videos. Like, I'm just like, God, where do I know this person from?
Oh, that's awesome. That's really
Yeah.
awesome. And it'd be interesting to see if you get that feeling with other Leos too on the South Node, or Leo moons or Leo risings, but or South Node Leos. But yeah, I mean, that's super awesome. I'm glad we were able to touch base like this. I'm going to send you the recording to this reading, and feel free to email me if you have any more questions or anything you want to mention.
Okay, same. Thanks. No, yeah, no, that was pretty intense, and I'll probably watch this over and over again.
I highly recommend it at least 7 times. And I'm going to include a discount code if you should ever want to order again. That'll be lifetime, so you can use the discount code forever.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Thank you.
You stay blessed as
Thank
well.
you. You too. Take care.
All right.